Micah Parsons takes a shot at Jerry Jones' roster boo. We must acknowledge that Micah Parsons has been paying close attention to Jerry Jones' tactics for stirring me. The Cowboys star took to social media on Wednesday, seemingly challenging Jones' team-building strategy. After making headlines earlier this week for slighting Mike McCarthy, Parsons has now set his sights on Dallas front office and the owner himself. Although the three-time All-Pro didn't directly name Jones, there's no doubt about the Micah Parsons highlights Jerry Jones' team bill. Dallas defense has plummeted this year, ranking 29th in opponent yards per play, 5.8, and allowing 34.5 points per game over the past month. The unit is a disaster. While injuries to players like Parsons, Darren Bland, DeMarcus Lawrence, and others have played a role, the lack of depth has been glaring. Parsons' comments underscore the issues with Jones' resource allocation. His stubborn and short-sighted negotiation tactics have resulted in Dak Prescott receiving the highest annual salary as a QB and CeeDee Lamb the second highest as a WR. Parsons is next in line, and his deal will leave Dallas with three of the NFL's most expensive contracts. Pair this top-heavy approach with disastrous draft performances in recent seasons, and you're left with a roster devoid of young, inexpensive talent. Parsons should have raised this concern a year ago. Now that the money is already committed to the offense, it's too late for Jones to fix the mess he's created. Instead, Jones will have to deal with comments like these from Parsons, which come at an interesting time as the linebacker will likely demand a record-breaking contract extension soon. Parsons is right that stronger defense will lead to more wins, but how the Cowboys can recapture the magic of past years remains unclear. No team has been more disappointing than Dallas this year. Unfortunately for Cowboys fans, things might get worse before they get better. Parsons' podcast and social media presence are generating more headlines than his on-field performance, and the entire organization needs a long look in the mirror to avoid another lost season in 2025. Cowboys announced major RB change ahead of Week 11. After losing 4 straight games and dropping to 3-6 on the season, the Dallas Cowboys are desperately trying to turn things around. Even though they're likely out of playoff contention, the Cowboys need to be more competitive down the stretch. To achieve this, head coach Mike McCarthy is considering changes in the rotation. On Thursday, McCarthy announced a major move. According to Cowboys insider Clarence Hill Jr., Dallas will make Rico Dowdle their primary running back, moving away from a committee approach in the backfield. Cowboys news: Mike McCarthy names Rico Dowdle as RB1. While Dowdle has been the best RB on the roster this season, this isn't the splashy move Cowboys fans were hoping for. As one of the worst rushing teams all year, Dallas likely should have made a trade before the deadline to address their needs. However, with no new RB acquisitions, this was the best move they could make. Dowdle has been sharing RB duties with Ezekiel Elliott since the season began. Dalvin Cook joined the rotation in recent weeks. While Dowdle has averaged just over 10 carries per game, Elliott has been getting around 7. Dowdle has been significantly more effective, averaging 4.5 yards per carry compared to Zeke's 3.2. Since the season began, Dowdle has played in roughly half of the team's offensive snaps. This number is expected to rise in the coming weeks, while Elliott's role diminishes further. Whether this change will make a difference for the Cowboys' season remains to be seen. Mike McCarthy linked to new team after inevitable Cowboys exit. One of the NFL's worst-kept secrets is that Mike McCarthy won't remain the Dallas Cowboys head coach beyond the season. Jerry Jones refused to extend McCarthy's contract in the spring, leaving him on shaky ground. His attempt to revitalize the Cowboys has backfired completely, resulting in the team's worst season of the McCarthy era. As a result, McCarthy's contract is unlikely to be renewed. While attention has centered on who the Cowboys will hire next, McCarthy's future destination is also intriguing. Jeff Howe of The Athletic speculated on the coaching landscape for the 2025 offseason, predicting that McCarthy could emerge as a leading candidate for the New York Jets. McCarthy, who coached the Green Bay Packers for 13 years before his 5-year stint with the Cowboys, may not be on many shortlists, but he could make sense for the Jets due to his history with quarterback Aaron Rodgers. There's no need to worry about how the 61-year-old would handle New York's intense spotlight, which is a crucial trait for this media market. The Jets, currently sitting at 3-7 and out of playoff contention, have already fired Robert Saleh mid-season and named Jeff Ulbrich as interim head coach. Aaron Rodgers recently expressed his desire to play at least one more season. Hiring McCarthy, who worked with Rodgers for over a decade in Green Bay and helped him win his only Super Bowl, could be a logical move. NFL insider on Deion Sanders to Cowboys rumors. As the Dallas Cowboys fall out of NFC playoff contention, speculation over their next head coach is heating up. Current head coach Mike McCarthy is on borrowed time after failing to secure a contract extension last offseason. Some believe former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick would be an ideal replacement and someone Jerry Jones would love to hire. However, the idea of Hall of Fame cornerback and Colorado coach Deion Sanders jumping to the NFL to coach the Cowboys has also been floated on TV this week. Sanders, however, has made it clear that he's happy where he is. His Colorado Buffaloes are playing strong football this season and are in contention for a Big 12 title. Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated dismissed the notion of Sanders coaching in the NFL. There are college coaches who desperately want to transition to the NFL, but I don't see much appetite for college coaches at the NFL level, despite Jim Harbaugh's success with the Chargers this year. While USC's Lincoln Riley and Ohio State's Ryan Day were initially mentioned as NFL coaching candidates, enthusiasm for them has waned. I haven't heard any serious discussions about Sanders and Jerry Jones. Cowboys fans shouldn't be surprised by this news. Sanders would be an unconventional hire for Jones, who is likely looking for a win-now coach. Names like Bill Belichick or Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson might intrigue him more. Unless something changes drastically, the Cowboys coaching carousel will be one of the most talked about stories of the offseason if McCarthy is let go. Dallas Cowboys announced awful news on Cooper Rush earlier this week. Head coach Mike McCarthy decided to name Cooper Rush as the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys in Week 11. Rush and Trey Lance had opportunities to play in Dallas' 34-6 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. The Dallas Cowboys backup QBs were terrible on Sunday. Rush went 13 of 23 passing for 45 yards in the loss at AT&T Stadium. He also lost 2 fumbles against the Eagles. Lance saw most of his action in the fourth quarter when the Eagles were up 28-6. The former first-round pick by the San Francisco 49ers went 4 of 6 for 21 yards and 1 interception. Neither quarterback looked great in the first game after Dak Prescott suffered a season-ending hamstring injury against the Atlanta Falcons.